Jean Byrne, what were you wearing on the weather last night? Did you see her? Oh, we've had overnight activity on the email, I can tell you. And the Twitterati were going mad yesterday. Turn on the telly, look at Jean Byrne. So I stayed up way past my bedtime. I'm joking. I stayed up till after the 9 o'clock news to witness it firsthand. I wasn't satisfied with the little picture on an iPhone that Jenny got from one of her Twitterati friends. So there it was in all its glory. How would you describe it to somebody who didn't see it? Well, faux ripped. F-A-U-X R-I-P-P-E-D. Faux ripped. I don't know if that's a phrase used in the fashion world, but I've just coined it this morning, and I'm going to put a C with a circle around it beside it, because it's my phrase. Faux ripped. Yes, if you can imagine a black dress, and every lady has the little black number in her wardrobe, and imagine Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street having a go at it, like and what it would look like then. Well, that's what Jean Byrne was wearing, delivering the weather forecast to the nation yesterday. And it definitely, it's scientifically proven now that the outrageousness of her attire is directly improportionate to the weather. So the more outrageous her dress is, the worse the weather is. And snow is predicted, another cold snap. And Jean, God bless her soul, was trying to distract us from the bad weather. And she did a good job. Darren, yeah. Did anyone see the dress the weather woman was wearing last night after the 6 o'clock news on RG1? I was arguing with my girlfriend whether or not she had anything underneath the dress. What do you think? No, she wouldn't have been allowed on the weather if she'd nothing underneath. No, she would have had a flesh-coloured body stocking or something. Or else there was lining on the inside of the dress. I like the idea of a flesh-coloured body stocking myself. More than the lining, yeah. Anyway, Brian says, I was sitting in the room last night when the weather came on after 6-1. To my wife's disbelief and my absolute delight, Jean had what looked like an all-in-one dress with slashing all over it. I stood up and got closer to the TV and I couldn't believe it. She seemed to have nothing on underneath the dress. Well, the top half at least. I called my mother-in-law to show her, and she said the same. I called the sister-in-law. No, I'm joking. I just added that in. I hope it's on YouTube so you can all see it. A happily married man who loves looking at the weather. Brian. And there were more reactions to Jean Byrne's dress. But we need a bit of a distraction, don't we? In these tough times, in the middle of January 2011. So thank you very much, Jean Byrne. And if you're listening, let us know where you got it. I'm sure there'll be people out there who'd maybe like to get their hands on one. 083 4100 102 for your text. You can send us emails to ray@todayfm.com. And it's all the talk is about Jean Byrne's dress. Jean Byrne was missing from the weather all over Christmas. I was starting to get worried. Dermot in Waterford. And I think Gerard Fleming should follow suit and start wearing lycra catsuits or something, says Jackie. And there was definite side boobage visible on Jean Byrne last night. Whatever she wore under the dress didn't hide that. And Jean, God bless her, brightens up the worst of weather. And Jean Byrne is a sexy woman, Ray. I thought she looked great, says John in Dublin. And we could have got 50 foot of snow last night and I wouldn't have known or cared. Jean, says Davy Boy. And fair slaw to Jean. That could be probably fair play to Jean, I would imagine, unless there's some phrase down the country that I'm not aware of. She looks super fit. Now, just to go over it, before we have a man on the phone, but just before we get to him, Jenny, would she be wearing a body stocking underneath that, or would that dress be lined with a flesh-coloured material?
I would say the dress was most definitely lined with that material.
To create the illusion
yes,
that you could see through the slashes to the bare skin.
There'd be a lot of that around the moment because all that lace is in at the moment, and then a lot underneath the lace, obviously they'd have that kind of nude look.
Oh, nude look. Nude. Yeah. Is nude in?
Yeah, well, nude's been in for a while, Ray.
Has it? Right. Yeah. I thought skin was in last season. Oh, that was last season, yes. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're going to put a picture of Jean Byrne
what do you think of it?
Dress.
Did you give your honest opinion?
I did, yeah. No, I didn't say it like this, but I'm going to say it now. It didn't do anything for me.
I really like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You could get away with it, I'd say.
No.
Jean Byrne, on the other hand, after the 9 o'clock news on a cold winter's evening, no. Just, this is going to make me sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but I'm not. because I'm not.
It's not anything to do with funny.
No, it's just, I thought it was inappropriate. Not inappropriate in a sexual way, just the wrong dress in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I'd have to say, and if she comes on, I'd have to say it as well, I just thought it's not a nice dress at all.
No, if she was going to a friend's New Year's Eve party.
No, I think it's...
right.
I'm when would you
wear that? When would you wear that party?
I don't think you'd ever wear that.
You'd never wear that dress?
It's a great dress.
Okay, there you go. You disagree on that. Anyway, Larry, what do you think of Jean Byrnes' dress?
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't lucky enough to see it last night.